Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is now time for game number 3 here on TCS eSports League. I'm Digital Bacon and now joined by none other than Syntax of the winning Silent Gaming side. Dude, how are you feeling after that win? We just got to get that out of the way. Get that little part done and then we can talk into this game.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. It's really exciting. Well, you should have heard me scream after that overtime goal in Game 5 because our hearts were pumping, and like the first match we had to kind of get into the groove, and then second and third we were pretty confident, and then in the when we were on match point, we felt like some of the pressure coming onto us, and I don't know, we were kind of not as confident as in the last 2 matches, and then in the and then like as always as it is with Elvets and us, it's going into a Game 5, and yeah, it was just insane, and I'm just happy that we came out on top. Good
stuff. Yeah, definitely. Because of course that comeback from Elvets was pretty nuts, wasn't it? Really, it sort of dropped off for your 2 wins, where essentially you were just able to outplay them, and what your player style would sort of suffocate them, making it so it's hard for them to break out. And then suddenly Elvets had that win where it was like, oh damn, they're back into this. So going into that last Game 5, you're probably quite scared, and you had to put a lot into the mental sort of fortitude of your game to pull it out.
Yeah, I was talking to my team before the last match, just to make sure everyone is like mentally on the same page. Everyone is ready. Everyone takes a deep breath before we go in. And yeah, it worked out. It was super close and really well played to Elvets. I gotta really give it to them. They played really well, and yeah, as I said, really happy.
Looking into this game now, Arcticgaming going up against Servette Geneva. Servette Geneva joint first up in the top of the leaderboard. Technically second, just due to game differentials. The Lord saying having, I think it's plus 15 games, and Servette having plus 14 games. So, guys, if we seem a little distracted, the lads in-game are memeing away something hard. I'm surprised you're not joining in, Syntax, to be honest. But coming into this one, Servette are actually playing with their sub. It's the first time we've seen a sub this season. A player by the name of Fick, who I have no idea on earth who he is. So can you give us like a little bit of insight to who this lad is?
Okay, so here's the thing. Fluff is not here this week because he's in the army. And now the thing is, Servette has a sub in their team. I'm actually not sure who it is, but I know that it's not a Swiss guy. So whenever Fluff or Safari are gone, like their intended sub can't play because he's not from Switzerland, right? So they had to put in a new player pretty spontaneously. Now Thick like he's pretty known in the Swiss scene. He's a good friend, and he plays with Safari a lot actually. And now the thing is, he doesn't have much experience like on the big stage or like on these streams because he didn't have like a team really. But he's a really good player, and if he feels well, then he can definitely show up. And I think in this match he's more excited than nervous to play, so maybe that plays in his hands.
So it's sort of like that tale of a ranked warrior coming onto the competitive scene. Essentially, you play the in-game ranked, but this is where it really matters. Like your rank doesn't really matter at all. It's how you do in tournaments like this. And he's joining a very, very good roster here. Servette, of course, like I said, one of the top dogs in the league. So coming in as a sub, he's got to be feeling quite good here. The only problem is Arctic are playing with their full roster, and their full roster do look quite dangerous, don't they, coming into this one?
Definitely. And I saw Servette playing at LAN last weekend, right? And they were not as confident, or they didn't look as confident than before against Lausanne in the finals. Now with Arctic and their main roster, I believe it's going to be very hard for Servette to adapt, because I don't think Thick is as fast as Safari and Sack. So they are going to have to adapt a lot for this matchup. And I think Arctic is just in the groove as their main roster. And my guess is that they are going to take this one.
So let's let the players onto the pitch. Arcticgaming will be in the blue. Servette Geneva, they're going to have to take the orange side. again, it works. I love it today. All the teams have sort of been to their colors. It's quite nice. You know, you lads were in the blue, which is your main color, with your profile pics for silent.
Yeah.
Everyone just got in on time. I was worried that I think it was Sack was taking a bit of a while. But here we go. 5 minutes per game. 5 games could possibly be paid out because it is a best of 5. Melox on the attack, up and over Sack, and he wants to get that to the net, but Sapphire blocks it out instantly. An explosive start to game number 1.
Yeah, we see. I'm just wondering if Thick is gonna like what his mental state is right now. I think he must feel pretty nervous because he plays with such good players. But if he can keep up the speed, oh my God, Melox comes out of nowhere at the corner.
Yeah, looking so far, Thick sort of felt very disjointed to all of that. And Melox here, I'm just gonna say that is pure skill.
Yep. That was a really good shot by him there. Out of like the angle came out of nowhere. Nobody expected that, and that's already 1-0 with 4.5 minutes left, almost for Servette to strike back.
Yeah, still tons of time in this. Melox getting the clear, the back pass back to Yagi. Yagi coming in as the sub at the start of season, didn't he? And he's been absolutely brilliant for this Arctic side.
Yeah, I actually just played with Yagi yesterday, and I got to say he's a very young player, but he's super talented, and he works pretty good with this Arctic roster.
Sapphire can't get past Melox, but aggression is set in stone. Sack having to back out slightly, but can reach the ball first. Yagi versus Sapphire gets it past Sapphire, but Fick is back. We can definitely see Fick is focusing as that third man, the defender essentially, and allowing Sapphire and Sack to just go in the attack, and it's something that is worked out.
Yeah, that was just the last man on the Arctic defense. We see a good touch there from Sapphire, and he had a quick turnaround. Stroby was not ready for that pop, and yeah, Sapphire just with a very good shot there into the left corner.
So, even Stevens, 1 minute 30 into this first game, and wow, it's all tied up, 1 apiece. Stroby going for some aerial acrobatics, can't find the net from it. Fick, great little interception to mess that up. Yagi has to send it off wide. Sapphire can't get onto that ball. Stroby sets up an attack. That's a massive miss, and Melox puts it behind, threading the needle here.
Yeah, 2-1 now, 3 minutes left, and Melox just finds the open spot, the only open spot there in the goal between the players, and Safari could almost get to it, but not quite. And yeah, Arctic gets the lead again.
Okay, I've got to say it now. I've always known Sapphire as Sapphire. You calling him Safari?
Yeah, because like in German, it doesn't like I've known him because he's a Swiss guy. I've always spoken like German or Swiss German to him. Mm-hmm. And in our accent, it doesn't really make sense to say Safari or like Safar. Mm-hmm. So, because in Swiss, I would say Safari. Or, yeah. And so, yeah, it's just how I got used to.
Chat, I have been wrong for 3 years. This makes me feel bad.
I'm not even... Look, dude, and I never asked him, like, what his preferred name is or how he prefers to be called, but, yeah. It is what it is.
I remember he used to always be confusing in the weekly cups because Sapphire is one of those. Not many Swiss players go and play like across the whole of the European scene. It's normally either in the French tournaments or in the German tournaments, isn't it? Yep. You don't really go over and play in the Gfinity, the Rewind, or the Rival sort of cups, which are mainly aimed at the whole of it. Don't get me wrong, you're not the only guys to do it. I've not really seen many of the Spanish players outside of the Psionics events, to be honest. But it was always confusing to see Sapphire and Sapphire, which is a British player, go up against each other. And that was always annoying, especially when they were both on the pitch.
Yeah, I believe you. Well, Arctic is still in the lead and nobody do anything about the scoreline. And that's the caster's curse. It hits me in game 1 already. So yeah, Arctic extends the lead to 3-1.
Yeah, Arctic were able to do something about the scoreline there. Just get an extra one up on the board. 3-1. Arctic definitely showing. I said correct. Yes.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, I'm just gonna say everyone's right here, right? Okay.
We're all friends. No one's wrong. Just you're more wrong than someone, or more right than someone else. That's how we'll put it. So 3-1 in Arctic's favor. 1 minute 30 still in this. The lads of Servette are not out of this at all. Sapphire, Vic, and Sak can pull out another goal. Seems like they're looming in close for it. Vic not allowed to come in onto that. You can definitely see this is a disjointed team at the moment. Vic sort of playing separate to his two teammates. Sapphire pops that in the air. This needs to be dropped down. Sak can't get onto it. Not enough boost. The lads of Arctic really honing on in and getting this ball moving around. So that's Servette are having to use up every little ounce of boost that they can pick up.
Yes, I think Servette really struggled. Okay. I just want to say the struggle in offense, and now Thick comes out with a nice shot in the bottom right corner for the 3-2. That was really well done. Stroby kind of hesitated there. He wasn't sure if he was gonna, or if Thick was gonna boom it back post or in front of him, so he couldn't get there.
I find it funny that we can legit call that a Thick goal. Like, that's... How do you feel right now, Syntax, being out-memed here? Like, whenever you played, you put memes in chat, and I can even remember setting up the lobbies and that for the qualifiers, and that was all we'd get. Thick is a literal meme. He is a meme right now.
You know what? You know what? I'm just enjoying the cast right now because I set my place as like as a meme master in Switzerland, so I'm not really worried. I'm just enjoying the show.
Just allowing someone else to take the spotlight for a bit. I love it. So Sak on the ball does get that up high. As soon as this ball hits the ground, it's going to be the end of the game. The lads of Servette need to keep it up. It's a good start. Good. That was brilliant from Yagi, actually, just to kill the ball, allow Arctic to win it. And that is the first of the 3 needed for Arcticgaming.
Yep. I think Servette had some struggles in offense because the rotations didn't always work out when they were up front, and they couldn't keep up the pressure, and Arctic is very good with those just like turning around and getting those breakaway chances. And so Servette had some struggles in offense, but they did put in some goals. So I thought Arctic was going to be more dominant with the roster Servette has right now. But yeah, I'm still believing in a good series here.
So if we're looking at Servette right now, I said it earlier how it is very disjointed. Sapphire and Sak are focusing on each other, almost as if they're playing doubles, and Fix just got to fit in around them, essentially. That's how it's feeling anyway. Do they need to change that up, or what would Servette Geneva's plan? If you were their coach, imagine it, what would you be telling them now to change up or to do to get the win?
Okay, I mean, when I'm looking at the scoreboard, Sak has 70 points, so obviously he didn't really get the chance to play his part in the match. So, I mean, it's hard to say, but I think Thick needs to like let Sak and Safari kind of figure out the offense, and he just has to be there. Like, it's very tough to say, and it's very tough for him, but he has to be there in the back, just supporting them when he needs to. But of course, it's a very tough spot for him right now. But yeah, I'm excited to see if Servette, or what they talked about maybe in the break for this game number 2.
So yes, all 60 seconds being used there. Sapphire, he's decided he's just going to go for fancy little aerial dribbles, get past the opponents with brute force. Sak can't turn onto that. Great pass over the Melox. It was a whisper away, like literally so close. The post and the crossbar denying it. Sak gets it up high. Melox clears away. Finds Stroby brilliantly. A shot on target. Sapphire back. Does keep that away. Thick now. Pops it up high. Sak.
Oh my goodness, another one. Okay. But
that is cruel.
Yeah, that was a good opportunity though for Servette, and they played that out really well, but just the finisher didn't really work out, and again gets saved from the Arctic defense. So, but
that was Stroby doing that, and that was brilliant. You see how he closed down the ball. He had no boost, so he followed the ball through the air near enough, like shadowing it essentially. So any hit was just going to go into him and then bounce out to the middle. That was clever.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this looks like a much better start for Servette right now because they're getting some good pressure and good offense. But we'll see if they can keep it up, and if Arctic can actually also do some pressure right here.
Yagi not going to be able to get that past Vic. Milox wanting to keep the pressure up with a pop back to Stroby on target, but too slow. Safir can't find Vic. Yagi stopping that there. Great pass over for Milox. He's trying to pass this out, but Sak can intercept that. A lot better now from Servette, isn't it?
Ooh. Yeah, it's very good right now. We'll see. Thick will go into the corner right here, or into the center. Sak can't really play it into the corner, but Arctic holds this out pretty well right now. I think Servette more and more are getting into the groove with their teammate. I'm not sure how much they were able to warm up with Thick in this like constellation, but it seems like they're getting there.
One of the top teams has been granted a victory. Lausanne, unfortunately, Sir had to forfeit as they couldn't provide a sub for their game tonight. Servette know this is a massive one here because they do not want to move down into a solid second. They want to keep up in that joint first place. Arctic seemingly standing in their way, crushing that dream so far. Vic finds Sak. Great little pop up into the air. Wants to follow it on through. Puts it towards the center. Safir backs off. Neither challenging. Going for 50-50s. They're too cautious right now, the Servette Geneva side.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they can. I mean, it must feel a little weird with having Thick right here as such a spontaneous sub. But I think they can be a little bit more confident because they do have some elite players on their team, and they can definitely do some damage with this constellation. So just just go on Safari and Sak, work the magic, and everything will be all right. But Arctic, of course, trying to defend everything Servette has to show.
Like I said earlier, it has become a lot closer. 0-0. Not a single team being able to find the back of the net so far. Vic definitely up in it, and it's all down to him getting involved in the rotations for three-man trifecta going on. Arctic close to that net, but not close enough. Vic can't get onto that. Sak given so much time to work with there. Gets a dribble, and we all know a Batmobile with a dribble can pull off a flick.
Oh my!
What?
We have seen so many balls so close in the corner, like already by Milox now. 2 chances by Servette. Ooh, another chance here gets saved away by Sak, or cleared away.
The crossbar and post has just been horrible in this game, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We now have 35 seconds left. Do you think any team can clinch 1-0 score here in regular time, regulation?
I don't know. It's into the post. Damn. Sak puts it high. Oh, bumps on out. Stroby has to now get this away. Vic. Stroby. 50-50 off to the side. Yagi trying to get the run on his own. Sak puts it off. Vic turns onto it. Gets the ball lofted. He wants a second touch. Milox has secured that defense, though.
First overtime here in game number 2. I mean, Servette looks really good right now compared to how last game looked, and Arctic doesn't seem to be able to put in any goals as of now. We'll see.
I think it all comes down to Servette focusing on that midfield defense, doesn't it? Where they're trying to just hold that midfield line and make it so if the ball does get to the back lines like this, it's not dangerous for them.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. Oh my god, another good opportunity. Follow up.
Get that way!
No, Yagi.
Indecision! Yagi thought Milox was going for it, and unfortunately Milox didn't. Oh, that is so costly.
Right there. Okay, 45 seconds played. And Arctic already some very risky situations for them. Now they're trying to get on the breakaway, but a good clear from Tick right here. Gets the ball into the blue half.
Safir, he's going to allow this to run. Gets up until he's got all 100 boosts, but unfortunately not the control. Slightly off target. Sak puts it off to the corner. Yagi wants to line this up. Vic can't get it, but this roll on pass. Sak the defender was going to come into this, and this is just really awkward Rocket League now. Big mistake will cost everything as these attacks not focused on getting the ball into the net, more about that pressure, isn't it?
Yeah, this overtime seems just really weird as everyone tries to not make any mistakes, but in the same time they're making a lot of them. But now again, very chaotic.
They're little mistakes though. They're not costly mistakes. That one was.
Okay, that was too much of crazy defense here on the side of Servette. We see everyone in the net kind of struggling. Nobody has any boost anymore, and Milox just gets the chance and sees his opportunity and takes the shot for the second win already. And Arctic is already a match point here.
Yeah, Arctic just doing enough, it feels. I actually think Arctic have more that they could deliver into this game. It seems like their passing plays had sort of slowed down in that game, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think Arctic, maybe they respected Servette a bit more in this game, but it didn't seem like the Arctic from last game where they just had, I guess they had better communication. They knew where each other were on the field, and they had some really good opportunities and passing plays there, but it didn't seem as structured in this match. And Servette, on the other hand, Servette did a bit more. So we'll see if this trend will keep going or if Arctic actually can close this out right now.
And what's crazy by looking at the stat board there at the end is that Servette Geneva actually got more shots on target than Arcticgaming in that game. Don't get me wrong, that's purely because Servette Geneva were going for more pressure hits where essentially hit across the net, making the defenders have to jump across, use that boost. But Arctic were trying to get more backboard passing plays going, weren't they? Which just weren't working in this case.
Yeah, because Safari and Sek are so fast in with their aerials, right? And I've played against them many times, so it's very tough. Like if an opponent tries to, or if your teammate tries to pass you, and you're up, you bet there's already a player from Servette faster than you. So it's always very tough for Arctic or for anyone to make those backboard plays against Servette.
So game number 3. Once again, that crossbar.
Oh my goodness, hot start.
So naughty, not allowing anyone to have fun.
Yeah, bad crossbar. Bad crossbar.
Bad crossbar. Go sit on the bottom step. Go up to your room. Sack, big boom downfield, could not meet Safir there, unfortunately. Fit, keeping the pressure up by putting it into the corner. This is match point now for Arctic. Milox demoing Safir, thinking that's going to be the way to get the ball downfield and, of course, into the net. That's all that really matters. Safir picking the ball up, goes to a dribble. There's a pot towards center. Fit can't put it away. So unfortunate for Servette Geneva, but the Arctic lads, they're loving it.
You know what? It surprises me because Yegi is he's like 15 years old. He's a very young player, and you don't seem to see any nerfs on this guy because I think he plays really solid right now.
Yagi definitely a great addition to the Arctic roster. You can see in the first couple of weeks, it was, I'd say, a little bit shaky as they were trying to get him into the team. You know, where he had to get those connections, get that chemistry going. But now, a fully fledged member, and he looks the part. Stroby can't get that past Sack, putting the pressure on Yagi off to the corner. Well read by Safir. And it's all coming down to positioning now from Servette Geneva, where they're intercepting every ball. This is dangerous up and above. Sack. Oh, Yagi, we spoke about him. He's definitely proven his worth.
Yeah, that was a good 50-50 from him, and very fast follow-up. Sack was not ready, and yeah, he couldn't get back there in time. That's the 1-0 for Arctic after, or with still over 3 minutes to play.
It would be absolutely nuts for Arctic to 3-0 this game against Servette Geneva. You know, one of the teams sitting at the top and you just 3-0'd them. you don't see that too often, do you?
No, you don't, but you know what? Actually, Arctic has already, or like they have, I'm not sure if it was a sweep, but they have beaten Servette before, and it was with a sub too, so maybe that's just the curse that Servette has, that if they play with a sub, yeah, it's not gonna go too well. Ooh, that was a good flick by Stroby there, but not quite on target.
Yeah, definitely feeling like you can tell the difference in Servette with a sub coming in. They can't play their normal play style. They just feel a little bit, I said it earlier, disjointed, like there's a gear missing in the machine. It's not just running perfectly. Saphir, get... No! Crossbar, can you stop it?
What's happening here now? It's amazing. I mean, of course, Strobe is known for his crossbar skills, but everyone is just putting on a show today. Still have.
So think, if this crossbar didn't exist, you know, if the goal was a little bit higher, whatever, we would have probably seen an extra 5-6 goals.
Oh.
But and the post wants in on the action to stop it all.
I can't anymore. Dude, so many shots on the crossbar and the post. That was a very great redirect by Yagi though. Now 1 minute and 50 seconds. Servette is trying to find any solution, and Milox just puts it in over the whole pitch with a 4-2 right now for Arctic.
Yeah, great little boomer downfield by Milox. Strobe couldn't steal it, unfortunately, but 2-0 now in favour to Arcticgaming. This is a slippery slope for Servette now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this is all about trust right now, because Safari and Sek are probably used to playing with such high-level players where they know, like they know their playstyle and they can trust them in being very very fast on the pitch. And now that they have never played with Thick before, and he's, I don't want to flame him, but he's not like a top 100 player, right? So it's gonna be tough for them because they have to kind of look out for him, and I don't think they can trust him as much as maybe other, as maybe Fluff or Skyline in the old days.
It's definitely interesting, I'm going to say, because I would have preferred it if it literally just focused on the defense, but that would not work against this Arcticgaming side. You need everyone to fully rotate, because if you're playing that way, you can't hold midfield. It's as simple as that, and they need midfield here. This was sort of like, I'm just going to say, any sort of playstyle with a sub is doomed. The only way the sub could have worked is if the sub was the only one going for solo attacks and the other two focused purely on defense. And we know against Arctic, that's not going to work. You can't solo attack your way through unless you're Saphir.
Unless you're Safari. No, we have half a minute left, and Safari gets a little hope for his teammates. And yeah, it's definitely possible for them.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. Okay, let's see if Servette Geneva eSports can pull something out of their bag of tricks here in the last half minute.
Milox dropping it down. Fick goes up into the air. Good set. Finds Saphir. Sack. Couldn't jump in onto that. He wasn't positioned set up for it. It's unfortunate. Across in the middle. No!
Go, they did it. Safari again. He just tried to make it a little more interesting. Comes out in the last half minute and puts in 2 goals. Now, are we seeing another overtime here?
An overtime has got to be on the cards here. Reverse sweep is a little bit harder. Servette Geneva, though, could do it. Yagi gets off to the side. Vic's got that up. Sack. Oh, no.
Okay.
He had Saphir in the center. Unfortunately, he didn't know and just wanted to kill the ball.
I'm really excited to see. I mean, everything Arctic needs and wants right now is one single goal. They have done so many before. Yagi goes with the shot over the whole pitch, but a very good save from Safari, and he seems to be carrying his team right here. He doesn't want this to be overtaken.
He doesn't at all. You can't blame him as well. This game 3 has suddenly come alive. Sack, good block off into the corner. Yagi, though, steals so much boost, making it harder to get away. This clearance will go straight down to Yagi, and he can put it back into his opponent's half. Unfortunately, Saphir picks it up well. Milox keeps it in the middle. A fight in the center. Fick, unfortunately, not positioned to pick it up. Across the net.
Oh!
Yagi, what a touch.
There we go, and Arctic gets themselves a 3-0 sweep over Servette Geneva eSports here. Safari could not quite get to it with the half flip. And yeah, Arctic did it as I predicted. Like with their main roster, they Cervic just couldn't do anything. They didn't seem comfortable yet. I mean, it looked better like with every game in the series, but in the end, it was so close. Cervic got better. They got closer every game. But yeah, Arctic took the win very confidently here.
And it was down to sort of allow Saphir and Sack, you can just see from the number of shots, for them to near enough go onto the back line of their opponents there. But unfortunately, not meant to be a 3-0 sweep for Arcticgaming. That is massive.
Insane.
Like, for them, because you got to think, just points-wise, with Sir having to forfeit today, would you believe it? Arctic are now third in the league. They've climbed a spot. Like, this game was massive for them. If they had lost it, they would have been in trouble in sort of like times. But this has given Arctic a free win, like 3-game win buffer. Arctic now could be in contention for third seed, which is the one you sort of want going into LAN. Who knows? They're only 1 game behind Servette as well because of that win. Arctic could be campaigning to try and get up to second, sort of in league. Arctic, this is a time to sort of rebirth them, essentially, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's super important for them to get that win, and they got it in the end, and they must feel just really relieved right now. Servette kind of in a slump right now. They just came off a tough loss of Switzerland last weekend. Yeah, they don't seem to be feeling too confident. Of course, they played with a different roster then. But yeah, something seems off in Servette's play right now. Like since since Lausanne came with that stacked roster, Servette just can't hold on anymore. They seem a bit.
I'm just going to say, because Flav is the captain of the team, so losing your captain really is a big hit, isn't it? I mean, I don't want to make you feel bad about last week, when you couldn't play against Servette Geneva as well.
Yeah, no.
But that was a very disjointed, silent game without you on board, because it feels that you are definitely the one on your team anyway, calling the shots, maybe with Synox as well, where because you're the connection between the defense and attacking your team. Flav is very much the core of the defense, I would say the foundations of the team. So losing him to this roster has got to hurt the team even more than, say, losing Sack or Saphir. Like, that's the most vital player on the roster. It might not be the most flashy player, but definitely one which, if you lose, it hurts badly.
I mean, Fluff has been on this roster for so long, and he's just an important part of it, right? He's in there, and he's just played so many matches with this with Servette. And yeah, I know exactly how it feels, right? I've been in the position where I had to play with a sub or where I was gone, so it's always very tough. And not only do you have to just adapt to your sub, but you always have that kind of that feeling inside you that, oh, you're playing with a sub, maybe it could go like horrible. But yeah, it's also mentally it's very tough if you're not experienced together, if you're not practicing much with a sub, which most of the times you don't really practice a lot with your subs, right? So yeah,
as well, just thinking about it, Servette Geneva have Elvets next week, and then the week after they've got Monks. So that should be a good period for them to re-pick it back up, shouldn't it? Where they've got teams which on paper they should beat. We know Elvets today brought it quite close to you guys, and Monks, apart from today, were on the up. This felt like a very bad day for the Monks. Before that, they were quite threatening, taking it to game number 5 against Lausanne. But Servette here should be going forward thinking, okay, let's put this week behind us. Let's put Arctic to one corner. We've got teams we should beat now, and we just got to build ourselves up, because in week 12, in 3 weeks' time, they've got to go up against Lausanne, who they took down in the first half of league play. They've got to do that again, don't they?
Yeah, that was very close, the first matchup between them. And what Servette needs right now, I think, is just practice, because Lausanne, they came with their new roster, and this new Lausanne roster is just insane. They're practicing so much together. They're playing tournaments, they're playing leagues together, and like I know out of experience that Servette didn't have to practice as much before because they were just the undefeated #1, right? And yeah, what they just
Lausanne picking up Classic and Hello was massive for them, wasn't it? Like, that's snapping it into place, essentially, for their team.
Absolutely. I mean, I was really impressed by them at LAN, and yeah, what Servette needs right now is just a reset mentally and just more practice with their roster, in their main constellation, and I think they definitely can come back because of course they have the skill to do it, and yeah, I believe in a comeback by Servette.
So, just final thoughts here as we close it down. Looking to next week for you, I'm going to be quite harsh here because you do go against Lausanne next week. What is your thoughts? How do you deal with that? Because it'd be quite interesting, I reckon, for people at home. You're going against the top team in the league play. What do you do across this next week? Because you've done with today's match. You don't have to worry about that. You've got to win. So you've got to be feeling quite good, quite relieved. Of course, going into next week, do you have like a set scrim schedule? How do you practice? And are you going to be going over your VODs against Lausanne and trying to come up with a strategy to beat them?
Okay, so I'm always looking at the VODs after our TCS matches. So I'm definitely gonna do that. But like seeing how Lausanne played at LAN last, like I can be like the guy that says, yeah, we're very confident that we can do it. But Lausanne is just, they're a very elite roster and they're so tough to beat, right? So we're definitely gonna do some scrims and we're gonna just concentrate on our, or I'm gonna tell the boys to concentrate on their speed, because that's just it with Lausanne. Lausanne is so fast, and Lausanne has one of the best passing plays, or some of the best passing plays I've seen, like in Switzerland. And if you can be fast enough and intercept those passing plays by Lausanne very quick and build some opportunities yourself out of that, then there's definitely going to be some chances for us. We've come very close to beat Lausanne, maybe not in this constellation, but of course, no hope is lost. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the matches. It's always fun playing against such good players, and yeah, I think we can make some damage, but it's going to be very tough.
Just wait until next week, and then Lausanne play a very slow dribble game. You know, like you're there, like, oh, well, that preparation, we don't know what to do.
You get all of the info out of me.
So inside secrets, guys. Unfortunately, that was the last game of the series. Like we said, Lausanne, unfortunately, well, it's not unfortunate for them. They get a win today because the last match on stream, Sir, unfortunately, could not field a team, so it's only 3 games tonight. But make sure tune in next week, next Thursday, October the 25th, from, trying to think in my head, 7:30 CEST, because clocks go back next weekend, so it's the very last one that's going to be CEST. Okay. Yeah, I think it is. I'm pretty sure 28th of October. I've got it in my head. That's when the clocks go back. But yeah, until then, make sure you have a safe weekend, a good week, and all that gibberish and that. Keep practicing syntax. You've got a big game next week.
Definitely, yeah. Hey, thanks for having me. It was really exciting. You know, before the first qualifier of the TCS, someone wrote me or wrote a DM to me and said, you know, we got this thing and we need some casters for the thing. And then I said, no, I want to play the thing. I don't want to cast the thing. And now I'm doing both, so that's great.
Hey, happy work.
Yeah, but it was very exciting. Thank you for having me, and yeah, see you next week on the pitch.
And we'll see you guys, of course, next week, next Thursday, as I said. But until then, hope you enjoy yourself, and see you next time on TCS eSports League.
Allô, vous m'entendez? J'ai besoin d'aide d'urgence. On a eu un accident. Il a très mal.
Ne vous inquiétez pas, vous êtes en de bonnes mains.
Merci beaucoup.
Peu importe où, peu importe quand, nous sommes toujours à vos côtés. Devenez membre et bénéficiez d'un rabais de bienvenue de 20%.